Yeah, I'm ready, baby.
Fate decided.
Let's get this party started.
Craving something scary.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
Jojo Jake.
Don't you swear at me, you little shit! Don't you ever raise your voice at me! I am your mother!
Watch Zone.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
The collective has spoken.
Yo, there you go. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I'm just sitting there like this too. It's like, yeah.
Always love the vibe with that music, man.
Yeah, man. It's a good one. What's going on, everyone? Here we are, Q&A Mondays. Got my boys with me. I'm assuming that Fate Decided will be with us soon. But welcome, everyone. We see you guys in the live chat. Great to be here. If you guys have any questions for us, throw them at us. We will try. We can't guarantee that we will, but we will try to answer them in the order that we get them, hopefully. Probably.
If we feel like it.
If we feel so inclined.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, what's going on? I mean, we're all running around with our heads cut off and just trying to keep this train going, so to speak.
There's so much going on, man. There's so much I missed out on this weekend. I've been super busy, but man, I'm very excited to talk a little bit about like Halloween and Scream and all that.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of crazy updates. We were just talking behind the scenes a little bit about the mask, the Michael Myers mask.
Oh, the concept figure.
Hobo Myers is back, baby.
Yes, yeah, that's
what all the fans want, right?
That's right. That's right. If you were going to pay homage to any movie in the franchise, you could pay homage to Halloween 2.
Zombies 2, yeah.
Zombies 2, man.
Definitely one of the best.
It's one of the elite films in horror history. I mean,
that's exactly. I mean, how could it not be?
I didn't say it's in good horror history. See, there's a difference.
Oh man,
historical, yes. Good,
exactly. Totally different things.
To me, it's crazy, and me and Jake were talking about this behind the scenes, and Steven, I'll let you jump in a second, but we heard the rumor about how he was gonna look, and we saw the figure that it was kind of based off of, and it's basically like he looked in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. He's got on, like a hoodie, sleeveless hoodie. He's got like green coveralls, and he's got an axe, tied around him like a sling, an axe. He's got a butcher knife. The mask, though, and you guys know how I am about that goddamn mask. The mask is where it gets me because it's very reminiscent of Zombies 2. And it's like the bottom half of it is it's like cut off. And then supposedly he's going to be maskless as well. But guess what, guys? I'm not buying it. Steven, I'll because I know, Steven, you did some stuff on it. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I do not believe it to be what we're going to see. Like the custom figure, I think is really cool. And in the video, I show the 3 different images of the custom-made figure, and it was really cool too. Just kind of a side note, because the person who actually created the figure left a comment on the video. I was like, hey, thank you for the shout out, which is really cool, And they
cool.
actually posted on their Instagram story. They took the section I was talking about their figure and posted it on their Instagram. Nice. It was neat, so it was cool. But that's kind of a side thing. That's why I mentioned that. I thought that was cool. However, it just worked out. And he even said, like the creator of the figure said, literally this came out like the same exact time. It was like, I don't know if serendipity is the word, but it happened all like right at the same moment. So he said that, is it out based on his figure, or is the figure based on the movie? It's not. Basically, it's all just an actual an accident, big happy accident is all I'm trying to say. But so I don't think that what we see in that figure is what we're going to see in the movie. However, it's interesting that viewer Anon kind of came back and said, "Well, it's not that image
Yeah.
or that
Yeah.
figure.
I've got that.
It's something similar though. Do you see that? How he
Yeah, I
still
got
believes
the image.
Yeah, the image. He said that there you go. It's pretty close to that. Yeah.
Right.
So I've been taking a lot of heat on my video and comments from some people that coming in, and I'm like, look, of course, first of all, I always think about Jake. 'Cause Jake, you and I've had this conversation how people will comment and you clearly know they haven't seen the video. It's so blatantly obvious.
Yeah.
Right.
And people are just dropping they're just seeing the thumbnail title, they're dropping a comment, and they don't even watch the.
Yeah.
So they're like, dude, this is a fake, this is a custom figurine, LOL. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I talk about that in the video.
right.
Right. It's almost like they should have done the video for us, right?
Exactly. I just like it's annoying, but hey, like I said, it's engagement, and
It is.
I'll respond and leave another comment, so it's all good.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, here's where I'll leave it here at this. I think that it's possible that we will see some footage where he looks like this, because think about the 4-year time gap. If he's
Right.
really dwelling in the caves, and he's
Eating rats.
he's eating rats and tree beetles and all this stuff. If he's
Fingers
doing
crossed.
all this, fingers crossed.
Jake will be the happiest person in the world.
I will think of Jake a minute to have.
If he bites into a rat, man, I'll lose my mind in the theater. That's all I'm gonna say. Sorry, can't stop with that.
No, but here's the thing. To think that he will look identically the same if he's not institutionalized, if he's out roughing it, he's going to look different. He's going to have 4 years of wear and tear. And here's my thing. I just want to see that in little flashbacks.
Right.
But I want to see him regular like 80% of the time or 90% of the time.
Right.
So
Right.
that's
right,
what
right,
I'm hoping
right.
for.
Yeah. How about you, Jake?
Well, I don't know if I want to see that or not. I don't know if I want to see Michael with the disheveled mask and all that again. I almost feel like with this movie, and yes, we're going back to like how it's been described is it's weird, it's different. You've never seen a Halloween movie like this. That kind of worries me a little bit. Like how off the rails are we getting with this flick? Is that going to be represented in Michael Myers' new look with this upcoming film? I just wanted to kind of go back to like if we're ending this timeline.
Yeah.
I hope we go back to how it all started. That to me just feels like a really nice little alpha omega ending like that, where it kind of just sums it all up, gets it back to how it was, and then just kind of gives us a crazy ending. If Michael's still alive, he's dead, whatever, something along those lines. The mask is so important to me, and Knight, I think me and you are just like 100%, we totally agree on this. If you don't have the blank white mask and you can see his face, it humanizes him, and it totally takes away from the mystique of what Michael Myers is at the end of the day. He's emotionless. He's a little creative, but he's ultimately just kind of a psychopath, a shape of evil. He's not quite a human being anymore. That's the whole idea, and we don't need to explain it. We don't need to do that. So hopefully we see something along those lines, and it's not just him taking off his mask like you were saying earlier and all that.
Right.
I don't know, man. Whatever we get, man, we get. I guess at the end of the day, it's in the can. It's filmed. We're probably getting a trailer sometime soon. So I just hope it's good. That's what I'm praying for at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on it, and I think that, and again, and I just had a video come out today, and it didn't get deep into the Hobo Myers thing. I'm actually finishing that up because I just want to go off on this thing a little bit, just as a fan. Again, and me and Jake talked about this before we started to go live. I appreciate having some creativity and trying to do some interesting things, some fresh takes, but you don't have to go out of the lane. You get what I'm saying? And I think 2018 and Kills showed that you could stay within the mythology that's been created for 45 years, but also bring some new elements. We talked about it before. I think Kills has a lot of fresh things going on in it. I think Michael, the way he's been depicted in 2018 and Kills, has been a lot of fresh things about it, but it still feels like Michael, which is a testament to these movies, because in this timeline, it's 40 years later. They really could have done. When I first heard that it was 40 years later for 2018, and I went to the theater to watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous because I'm like, well, how are they gonna depict him? He's 63 or 64 years old. I was nervous at first, but then once we got a little bit into the movie, I was like, okay, thank you guys, you're all right, so you can be fresh but still stay within the mythology. And I think if you like you said, Craven, if you've got some glimpses, again, just showing, hey, he's trying to survive. We know he eats animals. We saw that in 78 when he, with the dog. We can show him biting into rats and all that type of stuff. Get little glimpses of him, just the wear and tear. But he doesn't have to become like Hobo Myers like in Zombies 2, because I just think that just took, for me, when I was watching that, it just took away all the things that I love about Michael Myers. And Michael Myers as a horror icon, it's different, than a Jason or Pinhead or Leatherface or Candyman. There's a certain air of mystery to him, and when you have him being humanized, it takes away one of the strongest things I think he has as a character. So, anyways, I gotta stop because I'm gonna start like ranting off on this thing, man. But I just think that this movie is going to come back to the roots. I think it's going to be, a lot slower paced. I think the characters are going to have, a lot more, weight, so to speak. Allison, Laurie, Hawkins, and maybe even Lindsay. And it's not going to be bombastic like Kills. Now if I go in that theater and I'm totally wrong about all this, I'm going to text you guys and I'm going to need some counseling because, seriously.
I'm available. That's what I do. That's
right?
what I do, man.
Oh, Lord.
It's gonna be a therapy session if End sucks. At like, I can't even imagine the live stream after that. We're all just gonna be like,
oh, we're all gonna be like depressed, except for Fate. Fate's gonna be like,
happy.
I told you guys.
I told you. I kept telling you over and over. I can hear him now. I mean, yeah, and I'll tell you something else, man. That whole what Jake said a minute ago about the mask off.
Yes.
That time, that period when he didn't have his mask on and he kills, and Karen's baiting him.
Yes.
Whenever I saw him there without his mask, all of a sudden, it's just not the same. I was not. He doesn't look terrifying.
Right,
he doesn't look scary. I'm like, oh, okay. He just kind of looks like an old man.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing against, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't mean anything by that. I'm just saying he just looks like an old guy. You'd see,
Right.
Anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But when the minute he picked the mask on, I was like,
Oh,
okay,
man.
shoot.
Yeah.
It's the human
that
side.
scene, yeah, right. That
Yeah.
scene in 2018 when he slowly puts it on, it's just like,
yes.
this is perfect.
Yes.
So
and they
good.
and they did it, they did it in 2018, and they also did it in Kills, and I just love it so much because again, they've done such. That's why I still have hope, man, because they've done such a great job. People can say what they want about a lot of things in the movie. People can talk about Evil Dies Tonight and all that, and there's validity to all that. But the one thing I think everyone has to admit pretty much universally is Michael, the way they've filmed him, the camera angles, the lighting, the shots, what he's doing. I think they've really put a lot of great care into Michael, and James Drew Courtney he's been hitting home runs,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love that scene in Kills because, you got the whole freaking town. I mean, he's literally surrounded, like he's basically dead, right? And he kind of looks, and I did like the fact that it wasn't like full on face, James Drew Courtney. There was still like shadows and lighting in it, which I thought was that was very cool. And he just kind of looks, and then he just goes down to the mask and puts it on, kind of like, okay, guys, let's go. And I'm just like, man, what a way, especially for a horror icon that's been around for so long. It's just so cool. It's cool to see it. It just gives me hope, for when they obviously will bring back Freddy. They obviously will bring back Jason. And it's like, you guys better be ready to step up your game, with your story, with the way you shoot the film, the person that you have. I mean, obviously, if they bring back Robert, that's fine. But if they bring someone else, you just got to make sure whoever you have is on point. Because James Drew Courtney has been money, in my opinion. He's been money.
I totally agree. I think he kills it. Like, my one thing about it though, and when you have him without the mask off, at least for the majority of the time, I think the ending of Kills, it's a little maybe a smidge too much of him without the mask on. But I think in 2018 especially, whenever you do get a glimpse of him without the mask on, it's always like out of focus. The shot's kind of weird or something. That to me at least keeps the mystique alive of like who this person is, or like what this thing has become essentially. That keeps it scary. That keeps it keeps the mystique alive. And I think David Gordon Green has a better understanding of that than some of the past iterations. Like I just watched, we were just talking about I just watched Rob Zombie's Halloween today, and man, I totally missed the mark on what Michael Myers is as a character, I think, with that film. And it's something else. It feels like a true crime story more than anything. And I think if you like that, you'll love Halloween 2007 or whatever, but it loses what is so interesting about the Halloween, because it's so specific, right? It's a very specific kind of mystery behind his character that you can't find in any other franchise, I think.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the mystery is I don't want to say everything, but it sure as hell is a lot to what he is, you know, and I don't know. Like I said, I'm hopeful. But hey, Val just told us we got 31 amazing people in the chat. We don't have 31 likes. What are you doing? Let's go, guys. Let's go. Please, please, please hit the like button. We are trying to march to 1K. We're grinding.
Oh,
we're trying. We're scratching and clawing. I mean, it's a grind. You know? I mean, and let me actually, and I know we're talking about Halloween and we can jump back to that, but I want to throw this out to you first, Jake, and then to you, Steven. You know, obviously we've all been, you know, in the grind process. Do you have any feeling, you know, as far as this grind for the Lethal Collective channel, you know, how it's different for things that you've encountered on your own? Because obviously you've been at this game for a while, you know. I mean, I was a fan of yours before I even became a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying?
Same here.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, with this channel, and this is a lot my fault. I haven't been like promoting the streams as much and stuff. And I've been trying, man. I'm a part of 3 different YouTube channels now. And it's just like, it's so, and I'm making a 90-minute movie all at the same time. And it's just been like, dude, this weekend I didn't sleep. Like from Saturday to Sunday, I got like maybe 2 hours of sleep. And the rest of the time we were filming our movie. Like it's been insane. Like Matt, my buddy, he told me on Sunday, like we just got done at like 11 and we went out to get some tacos. And we're sitting down, and like everyone who worked on the movie all weekend, we're all sitting down and we're all just like, oh my God, like this was so fun, but I've never been this exhausted in my entire life. Like Matt looks over to me and he's like, I've never felt this like horrible in my life. Like this is so fun, but oh my God, like I wouldn't change a thing. I'm exhausted, but oh my God, it's been a blast. But the one thing I'll say, like, to avoid burnout is you just got to find some time to do whatever the fuck you want. Like you got to have to find a few hours to purposefully, whatever you're feeling in the moment, just do it, because otherwise you're going to get burnt out on doing everything that you're doing. Like today I was like, I've been thinking about Rob Zombie's Halloween all weekend. I just want to watch that. I want to sit down and do it. I've been hearing all this news about he's going to have a mask similar to that and stuff, and I haven't been keeping up with it all that well just because I've been busy, and I just wanted to sit down and watch it. So I said fuck it this morning, and I got to do that. So it's you have to find times like that to do that, or it's just going to be constant like work, and oh God, it's going to turn into work, because this is not this what right here should be fun, because this is fun. I love it. It's great talking about the things we love and all that. But you just got to make sure you got to make sure to just have some time where you're not working on anything, because even though yes, this is fun, it can become work. You have to make sure to set some time aside for yourself. True.
Definitely words of wisdom for sure. How about you, Steven? How has the grind been for, you know, this Lethal Collective channel in your eyes versus, you know, what you've experienced, you know, on your own?
Well, I mean, it's a little different because, you know, when we're doing our own channels, we're creating and from start to finish, post-production ourselves on every video. So we've got to do every thumbnail, every single title, thumbnail description, you know, the whole thing that goes into it. So with a collective, it's a different vibe, because it's usually, well, let's be honest, it's either generally it's Night who does the creating of the streams. I jump in as like the backup. If Knight can't make it or he has to leave early, I'll set it up. But most of the time, it's Knight, 90%. So it's a lot more, there's a little bit more work on Knight even than it is on the three of us generally, because he's got to set the stream up, thumbnail, description, all of that. But having said that, it's different, but it's one of those things where I feel like I still think that there's so much more that we can do, and I think there's a lot more for the future for the channel, and that I do think we're going to hit 1,000. We're only 14 away from 700, man. That's it. And we started this January 14th, so that's not bad. That's not bad for to be where we're at, and all things considered.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's impossible, and I think we all understand this. It's impossible for you unless you have an equal amount of hours per day to commit to all of your channels and all of your endeavors. Something's going to have more than the others. It's just the math. There's only so many hours in a day, so I think what the key is for us, and this is kind of talking behind the scenes, I guess. What may help us is there's 4 of us, which can lighten the load off all of us,
right,
to grow the channel. So if we can come up with a way to, not trying to be like, do your part. That's not what this is about. I'm just saying, overall, I'm just thinking if there's a way we can come up with where we each pick up the slack 1 week or we do, or whatever, we can distribute it to where I think we can grow it where it's manageable and it doesn't take us away from our other channels. Because I know, Jake, you've got 2 that you're doing plus this one, and I'm about to start my second one. Well, I already have a second one, but I guess technically a third channel is about to start. Right. And Faith's got like 25 channels
easily.
I lost count of his, and then and now you got a bunch of stuff going on. So we're gonna make it work. I think the key is, like Jake said, you have to make sure it's fun. We're here to have a good time, and it requires work, and it is a grind. Yeah. And I mean, every time I see my sub count go up by 1, it's like, you feel like you're getting a little bit of not payback, but where it's keeping your tank going. I always talk about keeping your tank full, because and I'll say this, and then I'll be quiet. I'm ranting, but
no, that's all right.
And what we're doing, we are outputting. We are constantly putting out, out, and if you're not someone who's maybe you're not a creative type, that your skills are set in other things, just to give you a little insight, when we're making videos, we start our day with our tank usually not even full. Let's be honest. How many times we not get enough sleep? We're maybe at half a tank, but wherever we're at, just let's say a full tank. All right. When we're making this content, we are depositing. We're outputting things from us, and the tank's going lower and lower, lower and lower. And what helps us to get that tank filled up till we can keep going are, of course, subscribers and encouraging comments. Patreon channel members. All those things help. Super chats on our respective channels. Those all that stuff added together is how you guys help us to not have that work burnout feeling, because that's at the end of the day, if all you do is output and it's never you never get anything back in, then you are really not enjoying it anymore. It's not fun anymore. It's hard, and so I guess I just say that you have to just understand this is what it takes. But Jake, you're right. You also and Knight, you have to at some point have time to just to allot for you. Like I can make a video now, or I could actually watch a movie that I've been wanting to see for the last 2 months.
Right.
And some days you need to pick movie over content or TV show. Yeah. Because if you don't, it's like it's just a job. Starts to feel like a job, and that's what we don't want to have.
Yep.
So,
and
those are my thoughts, man.
Yeah, no, and I agree with all that. And of course, and I won't go too long on it, but I think being able to manage and balance it, I think, is one of the biggest keys to longevity. And of course, I think longevity is a big part or a big ingredient in, what you can accomplish, because you have to stay at it unless you get super lucky, especially in this niche, talking movies and pop culture type of stuff or whatever. It can be a very challenging one. I mean, it's four of us that have come together, and we all talk about a lot of the same things, and you guys
Yeah.
that are here in the live chat, that. So it's a really tough place to be in, but we just have that type of passion, just like so many other content creators, that also talk about what we talk about. So you just have to be consistent. You have to be patient, and in order to do that, you got to find a balance. And thankfully, I don't even know how this conversation came into my head to ask, but thankfully, all four of us, we found ways to kind of keep balanced and able to do this. That's kind of what I was getting to, is that I absolutely love being on with you guys,
Oh
and it
yeah.
always feels totally different because of the fact that obviously we've been doing this for a while, and it's fun, and we like hanging out with each other, and we just like to shoot the shit, pardon my language, and we can do that easily, so
Yep.
anyways, it is fun but challenging. And for all you people that are, newer to this, and by the way, shout out to Conrad. He did his first video not too long ago, so he's starting his journey.
Yeah.
Obviously we've got so many others that are in our live chats, like, Carrie and Mav and so many others. I won't name all of you, but you know who you are. So just balance, man.
Balance. As Mr. Miyagi said to Daniel's son,
I was just
Miyagi,
thinking that.
he said,
Yes.
remember, balance, make good fight.
That's
Gotta
great.
have balance.
Oh, you're all right, man.
Hey, and Mr. Miyagi references, man, if I can get one of those worked in, it's
You
I'm
have
gonna
to.
work it in.
You have to, man. That's that's good. It's words of wisdom right there. Some good wisdom.
Yes.
But I will say, like, just one more thing, and I promise we'll get off that topic. But
Or
but-
maybe not. Maybe we'll stay
or
there
maybe
for a
not.
while.
Screw it. I don't care. I love talking about this kind of stuff. My thing about it all is, like,
Carrie.
sometimes we'll
Jeez.
sometimes we'll be in the middle of, like, something crazy going on. And it's like you feel like you're missing out. You don't have time to make a video or something. There's always going to be something else. There's always going to be some big thing to talk about in the future. So don't feel like you're missing out if you don't have time to make content right now. You want to do it in the future or something like that. There is always going to be this big exciting thing to talk about. Nothing to worry about there, I guess.
Yeah.
That's one other little thing I like throwing out there. So
Good point. And definitely words of wisdom.
It's
of
true.
wisdom. Yeah.
And I'm gonna go back to something else too, because it's so hard to not get caught up in the, oh, I got to get on this now. Like I got to drop everything. I got to shove everything off my schedule, put everything, because I got to go make this video about this now.
Right.
It's got to be now. It just came out.
Right.
And that man, you got to be careful with that, because that can turn into a compulsive situation where you're literally like putting things off that are important
Right.
just because you want to get. And it's not like for me, I think for all of us, you can speak for yourselves, but I think for all of us, it's not like we're trying to outdo others and be like the
Right.
first to scoop it, like Gail Weathers. You know,
Right.
It's not like Gail Weathers. It's
Right.
It's just like, oh, I want to share this with all of my people, my community.
Yes.
Like I want to get this out. And if you don't get it out, you almost start to feel like you can at times try to almost internally feel like you're not good. You're not being good. You're not doing
Yeah.
good enough.
Right.
You're dropping the ball. You're disappointing people if you don't
Yeah.
get this out the same day it comes out. And that, yeah, it's hard, guys, because we want to, we have subscribers and we have channel members. We have people that are supporting this channel every month financially. And when you start to go into that type of commitment, you feel a responsibility
You do.
to those people.
Yep.
It's because you can't even have the statement, well, you're not paying to watch it. You're not, because you're supporting us as creators. But at the same time, we feel that responsibility And so I know what Jake was saying, man. He felt like bad because he couldn't get to stuff this weekend. He wanted to, and that's because we want to do good by all of you that are supporting us, and we want you to be happy with your choice to support our channels. But we also have life and other things going on, and it's not always. If something were to drop at like a certain time of the day, I can't get to it until either maybe tomorrow, like the next day. I hate that, and it bothers me. But it does. It does bother me. You guys know what I'm talking about? You feel that same way, right?
I have a whole schedule now, which I am, as soon as this movie's done, I have a schedule of times when I can work on stuff and look up news articles like Monday through Friday, and then I'm taking weekends off from now on. Like that's starting in August for me personally, and I need it. I really need it, because I was like middle of June, I was like getting to a point where I'm like, I am so tired, I can't like even think. Like I would just like there would be like 3 videos I would need to make, and I would just like be laying in my bed just not being able to get up, and it's like I need you need to take time off for yourself. That's the big thing. And I'm horrible with that. I'm horrible at remembering to do that for myself. But that's going to be a big thing moving into August that I'm going to start focusing on a little more after all this is over. So that's my thing.
I'm so glad to hear that too, man, because and for you guys watching, you obviously you don't see us before we go live, but like even today, when Jake came into the the backstage, and I was like, how's it going? And he's like, I'm doing good. And and I'm being real, it just made me feel like, all right, my boy's okay. That's great. Because I know he's working hard, man. He's working hard on his channels. That's tough, guys. And he's making a freaking movie. Who does that? Jake does that. So, again, I think all of us in our own ways, we're pushing the envelope, and fortunately it's paying off dividends. And like I said, back to the whole idea of this channel, I'm just happy that we're moving, and we've got, so many of you guys supporting us. So that's about all I got to say about that. Also, real quick, I know somebody. Whew,
that was awesome.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless
Everyone
you.
says bless you.
Bless you from all of us. Conrad saying, I appreciate the shout out night. You're all right. You are too, man. You are too, man. Seriously. So I'll get to a couple of questions. We do have a couple of questions we're going to throw in here. But also, Denise is saying, Craven, we support you guys no matter what. Thanks for working hard for us. That's very sweet.
Thank you, Denise.
That's very sweet. We appreciate that, seriously. Let's see. Crystal says, what's worse, Hobo Myers or Halloween 4's mask? Ooh.
Big bushy eyebrows.
Well, at least he had a mask on.
At least he had a mask.
True. Oh my God, I love your way of thinking. It's so true.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Hobo Myers because, God, man.
Same.
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, what is going on? My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bobby Joe saying, am I the only one interested about the mask changes on Ghostface for Scream 6? Ooh. I'll let you guys jump on that while I bring in Mr. Fate Decided. Hey.
Whoa.
Hey.
Holy shit.
There's a lot less of you.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. It's hot, man. It's summertime in Nevada. It's rough. Las Vegas, I was like, I'm just gonna shave my head.
It's freezing here. That's why I'm in a hoodie and a.
I know, like you guys are like polar opposites.
He looks like an orange sickle. I just
it works with my purple background. See, that's
it's
my argument. Yeah.
Oh God. So what do you guys think about the mask changes on Ghostface?
Okay, so I have been not in the loop the past 2 days. What's going on with that?
I'm not aware of any mask changes.
I haven't heard any mask change either.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you guys said that, because I'm like, I didn't know that there was.
Not to my knowledge. But
every Scream movie has made some changes, like subtle changes. But yeah, for the most part, I haven't heard anything about the mask in Scream 6. I wonder if they mean maybe Scream 5, because there were some subtle changes in Scream 5, but nothing
with the robe. 6. Like the robe's a little different.
Yeah, the robe
was different in 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so and I know since Scream 4, they've talked about switching up the mask. Like Scream 4 was supposed to have 5 different masks. That's why what is it? what's the company that makes the mask? The
Fun
whatever.
World.
Fun
World.
World.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Fun World.
Yeah, that's why they made like the Scarecrow mask and like the Devil mask and all that stuff, because they were actually supposed to use those in the movie, but they ended up not doing that. What's going on, everyone? Appreciate y'all. Sorry, I'm late. We're here. I actually lost track of time. So,
I did too. I'm gonna be like it was like 5:27, and I'm just like, oh, wait a minute.
I know. I was in the backstage, and I looked at my watch, and I'm like, well, this might be the Night Watch Zone Collective tonight.
No, like literally, like I was I'm working, I'm doing all this stuff, and like I just like checked my phone because I got a text, and I looked and I responded to the text, and then like the time clicked in my head, and I was like, it's 2:40. I was like, oh my god. I was like, so that's why I texted you guys. I was like, hey, start without me. I'll be there in a minute. And so yeah, I like finished up real quick, and I like jumped on, and I was like, all right. I was gonna put my makeup on and do my hair.
Right, exactly. Put some curlers in.
Yeah, I couldn't do any of that. I had no time. I was like, man, this is rough.
Oh my god, man! If you had just come in and like still had hair and had them in curlers and shit, I would have lost my
I'm gonna have
mind.
to do that one day.
You should.
If I end up making the move that I'm supposed to be making, then maybe I'll grow my hair out because it won't be so hot, and I'll put curlers in my hair. That'd be great.
Oh my god!
I'll do like the old lady look with like the curlers, and I'll have like like the robe and stuff. Like, yeah.
Oh,
Craven
man.
will break out his wig again. It'll be awesome.
Yes,
yes,
break it out.
Yes,
you
man.
know?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been waiting for you to pull that wig out again, man. Because that was prime time goodness. I'm serious. That was so
awesome.
cool. It was so cool, man. A highlight for real. It was a highlight.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
The whole stream, but once the wig was on, it was kind of like Michael puts his mask on. It's like you became the judge.
And Judge Craven.
Judge Craven.
I'll do
I
that
am
sometimes.
the law.
That's right. Surprise you guys with that.
Right.
Halloween. I'm telling you, we all got to dress up for Halloween. We gotta think of like a theme.
Oh yeah.
And we all got to show up and like dress up in the same thing.
Oh, there you go. There you go. All right. I like that. That's pretty good.
Did you see what Blucka said just a minute ago? Fade.
Yeah. Keep Fate's name out of your effing mouth. Hairstyle, I like it.
Thank you, Blucka. At least somebody's got my back.
Oh man, too funny. And Conrad earlier was saying that the Halloween 4 mask has grown on him. I kind of, it's there. The thing that helped, the thing that helped.
No, you don't like it.
Well, I don't like it.
Too.
But over the years, I've just come to just say it is what it is. Because one thing's for sure, 5 was worse for me.
Yeah.
5 was even worse. Then we had Hobo Myers. It was a crazy journey for a while in Halloween. But the thing about 4 that helps me deal with it is that I like the movie. It has a lot of great things in it. And Michael had a lot of great iconic shots in it. I love that scene, early in the film when he's in Jamie's bedroom and he sits up. He's on the other side of the bed. He sits up. And then there's the lightning strike as soon as he looks right towards the camera. That's fantastic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep thinking to myself, I wish that was the OG mask because that would have been like, yes, But the 4 mask is okay. It's all right.
Speaking of Michael Myers, have you guys talked about the figurine thing yet? They got me. They got your boy. They got your boy, man. Oh man, I'm getting killed in my comments. I gotta make. I have a video about the Nev thing that I need to upload. And then I was gonna make a video later today, just kind of let people know, like they got me. I'm getting destroyed in the comments.
What's some of the comments that you've gotten, if you want to share them? Like,
I mean, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. One of them was like you need to delete this video. It makes you look stupid or something like that. And I was like, that's great. And like all this stuff, like it's just people like that's just a figurine. You're an idiot. Like how the internet is.
Yeah.
I made the video, and then like 3 hours later, it was announced. The video went up, all that stuff. Like, I looked into it. I was like, oh, shoot, there's something here. Everything's good. Let's make a video and talk about it. Video is doing well. And then like an hour or two later, it's just like all the comments came in. It's just like everything was just so positive. It was great. I was like, oh, I'm finally having like a good Halloween video, like right off the jump. And I was like, cool, this is great. Like, because usually it takes some time because I don't talk about Halloween a lot. So I was like, yeah, I was all excited. I was all pumped. And then the news dropped that it was all bullshit. And I was like, oh, man. And then it just, like, since then, it's just been a downhill trajectory.
I can see you right now. You're probably like, Michael, goddamn you.
I was like, why?
You betrayed me, Michael.
Yeah. I was like,
Michael
this is why
killed
Halloween
your video.
Guild sucks.
Oh, there it is.
Damn it.
There it is.
No, I don't care. I actually think it's kind of comical, some of the comments,
It is.
but it's great. But yeah, it's basically all just like, how could you not tell that the image is a freaking toy?
Right,
Like,
right.
you know,
I
like,
know. It's like,
I would delete this video. Got you looking goofy because the first photo is an action figure. So I don't know. I don't think I could trust what is said in this video. Stuff like that. It's just it's funny. It's comical. We all miss, man. Look,
hey, man.
I actually mentioned it briefly in the Scream video I'm gonna upload later in a bit after the stream's over. Like I even mentioned, like, look, we all miss because it kind of tied into like everything going on with like Critical Overlord, Viewer and On. Like they're like dying on the sword of Nev Campbell, which is that's their right. They have the opportunity to do that, and I pray it works out for them. I pray that they're right because that's going to be a complete disaster for them. But we all miss. Like we've all made a video where we thought everything was good. Like I said, I looked into it. Everything was great. It checked out. Like, some credible people were talking about it. I saw videos going up with it. I was like, why wouldn't I get on the train and talk about it? So I did, and it turned out to be a disaster. I missed. It happens. That's part of it's part of creating. We want to get out the information as soon as possible. We don't want to wait a week because at that point nobody cares.
Exactly.
So, like that's the thing. So you put stuff out there, but I don't know. All this stuff is going to be really interesting. I kind of went on a rant in that Scream video, but it's I just felt like it needs to be said. Like all we keep getting is confirmation she's not in this movie, like over and over and over again. And like I just think what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of disappointed people. It's going to divide the fandom again. You're going to have another PR nightmare. You're going to have all these people that are dying on the sword that are just going to get destroyed. I mean, we've seen people cancel for less. And the fandom for Scream is very passionate. I mean, those people aren't going to be able to live it down. Like, I hope that they're right. I do. Because I don't want to see anyone's downfall. I don't want to see anything like that. But it's just like, it's just not a sword that I'm willing to die on personally.
Not when
like,
Nev keeps saying no. Even at the convention
everybody
panel,
keeps saying no.
She
His
said
agent
no.
for the convention has doubled down twice.
Yeah.
Like, Nev, I mean, and the thing is, too, how many times are you going to ask her the same question? And people are like, well, she gave a chuckle and stuff. Like, how is she supposed to answer it? No, stupid, I'm not in the movie. Like, like, what is she supposed to say? Like, we've seen her respond and those answers all the time. She laughs, she tries to keep it lighthearted. Everyone's booing her and stuff. Like, come on, man.
There's one thing I can guarantee, and Jake, I'm sure you probably on this with me, but come August, when I am in the presence of the Scream Queen herself, you can guarantee I'm not going to ask about whether or not she's in the movie at all.
No.
It's pointless. It's pointless.
Yeah, I won't. All I'm going to be doing is basking in the glory of the moment. That's what I'm going to be doing.
You're not going to get a straight answer regardless. But
true. But I don't even want to irritate her with it,
And it's gonna just be irritating at that point. I mean, she's already been asked probably like a million times by fans at conventions at this point. Like,
that's right.
And what is she gonna say? Like, okay, yeah, like, oh, maybe, I don't know, or something like that. She might be like sarcastic about it at that point. She might get pissed off. I'm not gonna ask because who cares? Like at this point, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out in a trailer or when the movie comes or something along those lines. I really don't like. We have ZZM talking about the NDA theory and all that. Like maybe she can't talk about it because of that.
Conspiracy
I don't
theory.
think she wouldn't be as aggressive, is my thinking.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be as aggressive.
Her wording.
Yeah. She like that clip that came out from, I can't remember the name of the convention, but she's like
Mad
really
Monster.
Mad Monster.
Yeah.
She's aggressively saying, no, I'm not in this movie. It's different than the Andrew Garfield stuff when he was saying like, oh no, I'm not in Spider-Man No Way Home. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
and I just don't.
It's
I
different.
I don't buy. You're telling me they sat together and they were like, "Hey, it'd be great. Let's create this entire PR disaster that divides the fandom and just causes like all this chaos, and we're just gonna really piss people off, and it's gonna be a total nightmare." But guess what? When you're in the movie in the end, it's all gonna pay off, and it's all gonna be. I just don't buy it.
And why would she criticize the studio? Like,
exactly.
Take this from the studio's perspective, right? They want to make money. They want to build some hype with a conspiracy behind the scenes with all the news channels that talk about Scream. They wouldn't have Nev Campbell come out and say, "Hey, the studio didn't pay me enough money. Sorry. Like, I feel like I'm not getting my worth." No way in hell would the studio sign off on that. No way. Sorry.
Well,
not in a million years.
Response. She didn't come and she leaked it to the fans at the convention. That is a emotional response. That wasn't a, hey, I'm in cahoots with the studio to leak this information. No, this was, I feel spited and I'm just in my feelings right now. Somebody asked, so I'm going to give them a real answer. And boom, it ran with it. Everything from this standpoint has been emotional. It's just, how many times do you need to know before it's like a Family Guy. Where I think they have the thing, it's like 12 no's and 1 yes means yes. Like,
oh my god,
that's what I think of.
Awful.
Like, that's literally what I think. That's literally what I think of.
I love it.
It's like, how many times do you have to hear no before she did? My whole thing is just like, you're better off going in the movie assuming she's not in it and expecting her not to be in it, and then if she is, great. Guess what? You're gonna be excited. It's gonna serve the purpose that they want, which is, hey, this is a exciting time. This is an exciting moment. But it's like, come on, like, what did that say? That was an emotional response. What? That was
your response is also emotional. But you guys make
point.
Good points.
Yeah, it's an emotional response because it's getting old. Like, how many times does Nev, like, because she can't come out and say the things that I can say. I'm not Nev Campbell. I'm not part of the production. I'm not a part of the studio. I can come out and say whatever I want about the situation. She can't. She has to be in this box and has to be careful what she says, what she does, all of that stuff.
Right.
But somebody like me who has no involvement, I can come out and be like, leave her alone. It's stupid. Like, how many times do you need to know? Like, so of course I can respond emotionally because it's just, it's like, how many times do we need to hear it? Like, just move on and let's see what happens. Like,
Bobby Joe is not a fan of Nev's decision.
Nev is not an idiot. Sorry, but she is not an idiot for not taking that deal. Like, they should have paid her more money. I'm gonna be honest. I totally agree with her decision more than anything. Could you imagine if, like, you're the star of a long running franchise, doesn't matter what genre it is, and they don't want to pay you as much as like a dude who's also like doing the same thing in another franchise? Like, I don't know, man. That just screams something else is going on behind the scenes there. I'm with Nev Campbell 100%. Like,
well, and the other thing about it too is, she's been in the business long enough, so and her track record is very, very good. So for all intents and purposes, without being in the room with the numbers and so forth, you just get a sense that it's on the up and up as far as what she's saying, that she knows kind of what she should get and what they're offering isn't where she thinks it should be. And if it were me, just like at a regular job, if you've been working your butt off for a long time and you've been doing, some really good stuff and you've been integral to a lot of the success, and then the time for the raise comes and you're not getting what you think you should get, I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like, go back and look at some other like big franchises where they have done this for their lead role. Like, however you feel about Johnny Depp, go back and look at all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Like, a lot of those sequels wouldn't have happened because Johnny Depp wanted more money. He asked for more money and they gave it to him because they couldn't make one of those movies without him. Now Nev Campbell's not here because they won't give her more money for a new sequel. They're offering her less money than what she's made in the past. It's just like, I don't know. There's so many problems with that in my opinion, and I totally respect her decision to not want to be in this new film.
No, look, I respect your decision 100%. The problem is, like, we will likely never know what the numbers are, and that's where it makes it challenging. Because what if, like, like the Johnny Depp thing, like, I understand that. I've heard other comparisons, but like, I feel like that's apples to oranges, because the Pirates of the Caribbean movies have made billions, like.
Okay, but look at the horror genre, though.
But the horror genre is like Scream made like a third of what those Pirates of the Caribbean movies have made.
Doesn't matter though. I mean, I'm not saying she should be getting paid like $400 million to be in the next Scream film. I'm saying that because it's a Scream film and in the horror genre, it's one of the most successful franchises there is. She should be getting paid more. I'm not saying it needs to be $40-50 million. I'm saying it needs to be somewhere closer to like 5, 6, 7 million
based
or something.
on scale. I get that. But I'm saying, like, the problem is we don't know what that is. Like, what if she came in and she's like, I'm doing a cameo role, and she's like, I want $10 million. It's like, that's a third of our budget, and you're only going to be on set for 4 days. You know, but I've said, like, if it was like, say they offered her, you know, what, like the rumors, let's say the rumor's true that it was like a little less than 2 million. Like, let's say they were like, we'll give you about 2 million, and she's like, no, I want 3 million. Like, at that point, I feel like you're being petty. Pay her fucking money. You know what I mean? Like, give her money, be happy. You're gonna make that tenfold. But the problem is we don't know what the discrepancy is. You know what I mean? Like, if she came in and she was like, no way. Like, I've been taking the short end of the stick the entire time. I don't even really want to do these movies. I didn't even want to do Scream 5. You know, like, so it's like, I want to be paid. The only incentive I have is money to do this. So I either want this money or I'm not going to be in the movie. And they're like, we can't give it. Like, that's where the problem lies, you know? And it's like, you have to, and that's why I'm talking about like the split, because you have to take a side. Like, you know, it's like, are you on Nev's side? Are you on the studio side? Like, stuff like that. But it's like, how can you take a side when we don't know, like, pieces?
I believe Nev Campbell, and how she worded her response to all that was she feels largely in part that because she's a woman, she's not getting paid as much money. It's implied, I guess, and there's a lot of people kind of talking about that. We have Bobby Joe here also saying that, like, well, is it because, like, she's not, like, I'll just read this. The thing is that she says she's only doing it for the money. It's so stupid. She's got enough money anyways. If I was rich, I'd take that deal. But it's more than that. It's more than
principle.
that. It's what it represents. It's principle. It's the fact that it doesn't matter who she is. She's the lead of a franchise. She should be getting paid more money if she wants it, and she deserves it, I think, too. Like you said, they're going to make it back tenfold. They should have just given her, if she wanted a little bit more money, they should have given it to her. Easy. End of story. I feel like that's the case. And it's not just about what the amount of money was. It's the fact that there are other people leading other horror franchises who are sometimes men, sometimes not, you know what I mean? That it's that situation too, who will get more money easily, but then Nev Campbell gets refused for that, and that sucks, in my opinion. They should give her more money if she wants it. And I don't know, man. I'm really getting worried about Scream 6. I hope it's good though. I'm praying it's good, and it would be awesome if all these rumors are true about Nev.
All I care about is a good movie. And as far as that goes, like, you know, like what Bobby Joe was saying, the problem is it's easy to say stuff like that when you don't have money. You know, like when you're somebody that like has never made $1 million, it's easy to say, oh, I would just take it. You're getting $1 million a day, stuff like that. But you got to think opportunity, time, things like that. Like, she's in a different stratosphere than most of us, you know? So it's you might do that right now, but if you were worth $100 million, you'd be like, that's a waste of my time. You know, like it's not worth it. So like there's that difference. But the other thing is too, and like, look, I completely understand everything that Nev's saying, but here's my issue with like the like it's the sexism movement is that the highest paid Scream actor from day one has been Courtney Cox. Like, she's been so how can it be a sexist thing when the highest paid actor period in your franchise has been a female? Like, so that's why I don't buy that it's anything in this situation. Does that exist in Hollywood? Absolutely. Like, absolutely. But when it comes to this case, I don't think that's what it is. I just think that the studio feels, and I could be completely wrong. We don't know. Again, we're just, all of this is speculation. But I think the studio believes that they can do a Scream movie without her and have success. They only want her to do a cameo for like 2 or 3 days. I mean, even the reported filming dates, you know, if she is in this movie, is what, the 28th through the 30th? So you're talking 3 days. So if that is true, I just think they look at it as like, we don't really need her. We're moving away from her. She's not the main focus. She hasn't really been in a while. Like, we're still going to make $150 million. Why would we give her, you know, all this money when we only need her for a brief moment? We'd rather just see what we could do, and then Scream 7 if we have to. Then, hey, here's, you know, $15 million to come and do this movie. You know what I mean? That's what I think it boils down to. I don't think it has anything to do with her being a female. I think it has to do with that. It's just the studio believes we don't need you anymore, you know, and supply and demand. It's a thing. Like, you're not an A-list actress. You're not somebody that's in high demand. You're not a Johnny Depp. You know, I mean, Scream has built her as much as she's built Scream. So it's like, I don't think it has anything to do. And all I keep hearing is that, like, oh, it's sexist. Look at this and that. But it's like, everything says that it's not, because Courtney Cox is the highest paid actress.
I'm
She's
just
the
going
highest
off
paid in
of
Scream 6.
See, I'm just going off of what Nev said. I believe Nev.
No,
If she says it might have something to do with that, I'm kind of on her side about it, I guess.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know, I think it all comes back to we don't know the situation all that well, like you said. So I'm kind of just going off of the few little things that have been said and what we kind of know about it. And yeah, no, that it is weird because yeah, Courtney Cox has always been like the biggest star across the board in all these movies. So what is really going on behind the scenes? I guess we don't know. That's why we're left here speculating. And there's some dude in an orange jumpsuit just kind of bullshitting about it on the internet.
So dude with curls in his hair.
Right. Right. So I don't know, man. I just the whole situation sucks, and I guess maybe it's also largely in part to the production studio not realizing how important of a character she is to the franchise. Because you can look at it as like this whole franchise is built on horror commentary, and that's why it was successful in 1996 for having that meta lens and looking at the horror genre from that perspective. But it slowly became about her in the later sequels, I think. So I don't know. I think it's very important that we have her in this film, but if we don't at the same time, I just still hope it's good. I just want a good movie. You know, at the end of the day, that's what I want more than anything, and I don't want anybody having hurt feelings about it either.
I've always said, I even said in the video that I've uploaded later, I said, what would you rather have? Would you rather have a Nev movie that's terrible, or would you rather have a movie without her that's great? Because they are trying to force feed her. Like, I just want a good movie, whether she's in it or not. That's all I care about. I just want to go watch Scream and just be like, this was great, and then talk about it and all that stuff. And I even have concerns about that. But
and also Courtney Cox was the most paid because she was the most well known.
Yeah, she was the biggest actress.
You know, the biggest actress. I mean,
Friends is still one of the biggest shows ever.
Yeah, Friends.
Day.
The success and the popularity of Friends cannot be, you know, underestimated, because I mean, seriously, that show, I mean, it's still, like you said, Fate, it's still super popular, you know, so that's why she was number one.
Well, I mean, even Netflix paid like, I think it was like somewhere like $10 million or something like that,
right,
to have Friends on Netflix, and they kept trying to renew it and stuff because it was so hot demand, and they paid that money because even with all the new shows, even with everything Netflix has, Friends was still number one trending as far as like data and stuff like that over everything. Like that, like to this day, you're talking what, 30 years later, whatever it is. Like, you know, like that's insane. That's how successful that is. And that's why Courtney Cox has always been paid more, because she's the bigger household name, you know. You know, I love Nev. I love Nev undoubtedly. You know, I grew up with her. But I mean, in reality, like her work outside of Scream hasn't been very big. Like, she doesn't have like a huge portfolio. She's never had like that huge blockbuster success movie. Like, you know, even like the big number movies she's been in, she wasn't the main character. Like, what was the Rock movie? She was the wife
Skyscraper.
Skyscraper. Like that had huge success, but she was only in like 10 minutes of that movie. Like, you know, like, so, you know, as much as we love her as a fandom and as like Scream fans and stuff like that, just looking at her from her career wise, she's not a hot commodity. It's not like she's in high demand. It's not like, you know, they're competing and trying to negotiate and work out like, oh, it's just like, you know, it's a different situation. You know, if it was like Jenna Ortega, I could see them pushing harder to keep her than Nev Campbell at this point, just because she is on the rise, and that's just Hollywood, unfortunately.
Right.
You know, you're hot one minute, you're nobody the next, and it's like time to move on. Like, you know, it's the world we live in.
Yep, true enough. But that also could be another. I don't want to keep going on the Nev thing, but that could also be another factor for her saying, you know, look, at some point, you know, I'm going to be totally moving to other stuff if I choose to. You know, I can make that decision on whether or not, you know, I think I'm getting, you know, I can play some hardball. You know, that's probably a bad term, but you get what I mean. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We got a couple more questions too. I just want to.
Sure.
Yeah. Castellar was saying, what would be something unexpected that could surprise you in a positive way for the new Scream and the new Halloween movie?
Night. Let's start.
A positive thing for Scream. Well, I mean that it's fresh, that it's different, that they go. And I don't mean just a little bit, because I mean, even Scream 5 did some different things, obviously, most notably the opening attack and, you know, some other things peppered in here and there. But I'm talking about when I leave the theater, it's almost like I'm reignited, you know, for the future of this franchise. To me, that would be an unexpected thing. That would be such a big surprise in the most positive of ways for me for Scream, you know, and I hope it happens, you know, I really do. And I think the opportunity is there, you know, the opportunity is like, if it doesn't happen this time, I don't know when it's going to happen. You know, you're in friggin' New York and you got so many things you could just do with that. You know, it's around Halloween time, all these different things. If Nev isn't in the movie, you know, you've got some freedom with that. So if it doesn't happen this time, you know, I'm just going to be like, well, it's probably never going to happen. Of course, you know, it still may, but that would be the thing for me for Scream. For Halloween, just and it's not that it's unexpected, it's more that I'm hoping and I think it will happen. It's just sticking the landing. Stick the landing. I want this to be a trilogy that I can revisit for years to come at, you know, all three movies, because I enjoy the first two and I want to enjoy this third one to finish off this timeline. You know, technically 4 movies, you know, if you include the OG. And so that'd be awesome. So
yeah, I you know, it's weird. I feel differently about both of these franchises. With Scream, I think we've had 5 movies in a row that have all had the same formula for the most part. Like, they've had little different nuances, and like the tone has like changed a few times across some of the movies. But with Scream, I really need them to change up the overall structure. Like, it has been the same thing in all 5 movies. I need them to do something different. If it's a third killer, if it's someone getting killed at the very beginning of the movie who's a ghost face, something along those lines, I need something shocking like that to happen and work with the whole script. And it needs to be all about that. I need something different from the Scream franchise. With the Halloween franchise, I feel totally different. I want something that's kind of back to basics and isn't too out there, because I feel like in the past 4, maybe even past 6 movies in the Halloween franchise, it's been pretty different and all over the place, and not all of them have hit. Some of them have, and I loved Halloween 2018. I really liked Halloween H2O, but like Resurrection, Rob Zombie's movies, Kills is a little shaky. I know how we feel about that. With this new one though, I want something that feels back to basics, and it's weird because my 2 things that I want from these franchises, I feel like it's going to be the total opposite. Like, we're going to get a crazy Halloween film and a normal ass Scream film. So I don't know, man. If we could swap that'd be awesome. Then I would be a happy camper. But yeah, that's my take.
Now, how about you, Steven?
Yeah, I'm much of the same. What you guys have said, really, I'm not that much different. I think for Scream, I'm really getting more and more nervous about both of these movies. The more we learn as things happen, and you know, the fact that we're back in a theater with stab posters on the wall, it's got me really concerned. And you know, we've talked about other things. It could be a play of Stab. It could be, you know, heck, for all we know. Well, no, not really, because the stab posters the stab posters going to keep us there where that something Stab related is happening. So whether it's a movie or a play, it's probably, or a view. Yeah, it was one of those two in my book. Yeah. So my concern for Scream, what would be something positive, is that they completely turn it on everything on its head. Like, we're going to see a Stab movie, and I know I mentioned this earlier, and you guys thought it was a terrible idea, but I still think I would prefer it where they go and they leave a Stab theater and no one dies in the theater, because all we're going to be doing is expecting it to happen. Every one of us, when they go into a theater, oh, here we go. It's here we go. Who's going to be are they going to do an homage to the bathroom scene? What are they going to do? And then it's almost like a big fake out. It's a red herring. And they leave the theater and nothing happens. And then maybe something happens elsewhere. In the parking lot, I would even... Yeah, well, maybe. I would take a parking lot killing. I would take... here's what I really think would be cool, is they go see a Stab movie, whoever the opening people are, and they drive home, everything's fine, and then we have an attack at their house, a more traditional attack at their house. But the fake out is the theater.
It's just like 10 minutes of like nothing.
No, No,
It's
not at
all set up. It's set up.
Yeah,
You got
it's all set up.
Ghostface stalking around the theater.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I'm not
Right,
talking about.
right.
They're not actually watching the. We're not actually watching the whole movie. I'm talking about like less than 5 minutes. They're at the very end of the movie. They're in a stat movie. You know, yeah, it's all set up like Jake said. You know what I'm talking about. So, and then it's just a fake out to us. Like, oh, psych, they got us, and now they're gonna do the real thing. I'm just doing anything like that. I will take over them having a murder happen in this theater. You know, because remember in Scream 2, we've got a theater twice. We've got it at the beginning, and we've got it at the end.
Well, you have
Troy
Nev Campbell in the theater doing the play, so technically
That's what I'm talking
times.
about.
And she sees Ghostface.
We got the movie theater, and then we've got the actual theater at the university. So either way, it either starts or ends at the theater with Stab 2 or Scream 2. So I just don't want to see it mirror that film too much. That's all. It's just, and I'm already predicting now. I'm on record that we are going to have a Debbie Salt. It's going to be a male. It's either Josh, it's going to be Maroney, or it's going to be Cerny, the new guy.
Poor Jake.
I'm telling you, Jake. You mark it down. I'm telling you right now. Over almost a year ago, it's going to happen. They're already going to mimic the Scream 2 movie, and I mean, I'm really concerned it's going to be Scream 2, or it should be 6 2.0, however you want to call it. And I just don't think James and Guy are actually going to branch out. I think they're going to play it safe.
But why? Like, why? Why remake
idea.
Scream 2? Why? Why
I don't
remake
know.
that? There are fans that love Scream 2. There are people
heck
who
yeah.
love it. Why
Yeah.
go back and try to do that differently or something? Just there's so many new, like, this is not that crazy of a series to where it's
Right.
like if you're making a new Alien movie, you kind of have to do it in space, right? You kind of have to do it on a spaceship in space. Got to go to a different planet. You have to have the aliens come. There's a lot of specific things you got to do if you're remaking an Alien movie. With Scream, it's not that crazy. You just have to have characters with someone's got to be running around in the Ghostface mask. You got to have them stabbing and killing people, some chase scenes, and like you can do whatever the fuck else you want. Like, I don't know, this like I'd understand if they made a new Alien movie and it was like, okay, you know, that was kind of similar to Aliens, but it's like, yeah, there's not a whole lot there's not a whole lot of room in this franchise. But with Scream, there is so many, like, you can have a different setting, you can have there's a million different ways to do a murder mystery. There's so many different motives you could have to kill somebody. God, if they just remake Scream 2, that has got to be the laziest thing I have ever seen in my life. I don't know. That's sorry.
Dude, I'm sorry. There's no way in my mind, unless I see something.
You're right, Craven, you're right, though. That's the thing. That's the scary thing. That I am so terrified that's going to be the case here. I'm not, in no way am I trying to say your take's wrong, because, dude, you are, like, I hate to say it, but you're probably right. You are probably 100% dead on. And I just think they have so many opportunities to do something different with this movie especially, that if they don't take those opportunities, I'm going to be disappointed.
Jake, you're gonna have so much material for videos if it happens, man. I'm literally gonna be waiting. It's like I just want to see Jake go off on this friggin' thing.
Dude, I was talking about that in my live stream yesterday. I did a live stream yesterday, and like I dedicated like 10 minutes to talking about. I can't wait to see Jake have like an aneurysm once he goes.
Oh my god, dude! I will rip this thing apart. Like, if that's the case,
I cannot wait for that. Like I literally, like, go watch the live stream. I spent like 10 minutes talking about how excited I am. I swear to you. But to like further add to like Craven's idea, like, we see like those images with Gail that came out. You see another news van, but you see it like on several different occasions. So I think what it's going to be is it's going to be one of the male actors in this movie. They're going to be a reporter for this rival news station, and whether they become Ghostface or not, that I don't know. But I think we're going to have like that Debbie Salt type character where it's just like the Gail's rival, and he's this guy at the other rival news station, because she's channel 4. So maybe they're like channel 7 or something like that. And like, they're just going this back and forth. So like, I could see that happening. I hope it doesn't turn out that he's Ghostface at the end, because I would be like, God, and then you just get the whole like Vince's father.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we don't know who Vince's father. We don't know who Wes Hicks' father is. We don't know who that is either. It could be Wes's father. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, if that happens, I'm gonna jump up. I'm gonna be clapping, and everyone's gonna be looking at me like I'm stupid. And I'm just gonna be like, Go subscribe to Killjoy Jake, everyone. It's gonna be great.
Oh my god.
It's
Or
going
better
to
yet,
be the greatest moment of your life. He's probably recording right now.
It's just going to be like a third. Yes, yeah. It's going to be a 30-minute just rant. Like I won't even have to edit it. Like I'm just going to go off. Like, oh my god, sorry.
At the end, your head explodes. It's going to be just marvelous.
Dude,
I'm gonna get like a VFX team to do that, where my head just like, you know how like at my beginning of my videos I usually say like some kind of like, ooh, is this gonna happen with Scream 6? Let's get into it. Literally, it's the beginning of the video is just gonna be me sitting there and my head's just gonna explode and then go right into it. I'm gonna hire someone to do it.
It's gonna be great. Just boom.
Oh man, it'd be so funny, man, if you recorded doing that fate, like actually in a theater, and like you just jump up, you're like, "This is the greatest thing of all time," and like and you got a few people as extras, and they're just looking at you like, "What the," and then you're like, "You gotta subscribe to Killjoy Jake."
I'm gonna have to watch the movie twice, like real back to back, because I don't want to get thrown out of the theater at the end of the movie. Right. Like if I'm gonna get thrown out of the theater, like I'll have to do it a second time on a second rewatch. I'll watch it the first time, get it done, be excited, and then I'll reenact it in the next theater.
Oh man,
dude, I've already ran a poll. That's how much I believe it's gonna happen. Like, which one do you think is gonna be the new Debbie Salt? Mrs. Loomis character, because I think it's when there's no way you hire 3 adult males, like almost 40 or above.
Right.
I'm sorry, I just don't. I think they're airmailing it to us, and why don't they keep those people quiet? See, that's what they really should have done. Don't reveal those cast members, then we wouldn't even know they were there.
Yeah.
But I just can't ignore that. But anyway, last thing real quick for me was that Halloween, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Surprise. Oh man, just don't get too crazy, because all I'm hearing is the Christine references, and this movie's very different. David Gordon Green says, I love to mix genres and cross genres in films, and I don't need John Hughes making Halloween Ends. I don't need it. John Hughes, those are great movies, but coming of age, this is not what this is. So here, I'll say it like this. Don't kill Michael in the first 15 minutes and replace him with a copycat killer.
Right.
If you avoid that horrific rumor, then at least it's something better than that. And just end it well, man. That's all. And for me, it's the ending is a big thing.
Yeah, man. It's got to stick the landing. Got to stick the landing.
Jake, I had 2 things pop into my head. So for the intro, when you have your aneurysm moment, okay, you could do one of 2 things. You should stand there and just get ready, and you should have somebody edit like just this bright red just building up, and then your head just explodes. Or what would be funny too would be like if you did the same thing and you just started turning green, and then it cuts to you in like the Hulk gloves, those like big Hulk gloves.
Oh my god!
Like, just like punch a ghost face or something.
Punch a ghost face, yeah, just beat him up. Oh, that'd be great.
And then it cuts to you like just like this movie was. that would be great. There you go. You're welcome.
Oh my god, that's too funny, man.
I'll do it,
man.
I'll fucking do it.
I just know it's coming. I hope I'm wrong for your sake, but
yeah.
I mean, anything else. I will take anything other than a Scream 2 kind of knockoff. I will take literally at this point. I will take anything else, just for the sake of them trying to take it in a different direction. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I will not be nearly as mad as a film that tries something else and fails than if they were just to be like take the safe route and be like, hey, everyone likes Scream 2. Let's just rewrite that script and modernize it, because anyone could do that. Anyone could do that. Like, does not take a genius to watch Scream 2 and write a modernized version of it. I don't know. Sorry.
I'm with you. I've said it 1,000 times. I'd rather you do something and I hate it, but at least I can defend you and stick up and say like, hey, it didn't hit, but at least they tried. Then I'll have a lot more respect for you. Let's put it like that.
Right.
Than if you just make another Scream movie and it's terrible. It's like, how can I stick up for you?
Right. Yeah.
And Denisha, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're gonna really be taking any risk at all. Kind of like what we're talking about right now. So it's not looking good.
The problem is too is how much freedom has Paramount given them. That's another thing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what they want to do and what the studio okays are two different things, and that's something we got to keep. That's something we got to keep in mind too. Unfortunately, Radio Silence is going to be the one that takes the hit, but it might not. Like at the end of the day, it might not even be up to them. You know, like the studio has to green light that. And the studio might not want them to take chances. You know, they might be looking at it as we just bought this franchise. Yeah, like a scanner scene. Yeah. Like
I know that's what I was thinking too.
Like we just bought this franchise. We just paid, $50+ million or whatever they paid for it. We need these to be successful. We have 5 movies now that have shown success being the exact same thing. I'll see you later. And I mean, Paramount could be looking at it as like we could take chances later. We can't do that right now. Let's finish this, arc, and then Scream 8 will do something different. Maybe that. So
maybe
I don't know, man.
I just hope it's because I mean, but then if that's the case, then why would Tyler come out and say how we are willing to risk it all to subvert expectations for this movie, and that we're so far down the rabbit hole of sequels.
The rabbit hole of copying Scream 2.
Well, he just says that everything's up for grabs.
Right.
I mean, those kind of statements sounds like someone who has freedom.
But he said the same. They were saying the same stuff in Scream 5, and we got the movie. They were talking about how
they didn't say they were like willing to risk it all. They just said
but they said that this is going to be different. They said that this movie is going to blow people's minds. We're changing up the formula. They were talking about how this, and it was a carbon copy of '96. What I mean, my thing is always like, what is he supposed to say? Like, yeah, we're doing another Scream 2 movie. What is he supposed to say? Like, oh, it's this movie's just he has to hype it up. It's his job. He can't be like, yeah, it's not what I want it to be, but
then make the writing match what you're saying.
Well,
I feel like that's not that hard to do. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's my point.
It's not hard to do at all. I hope it is. I pray on everything that I love that it's not just a Scream 2 movie. But unfortunately, it's probably gonna be. I mean, everything we've seen screams Scream 2. No pun intended. Like literally all of the set leaks, all of the story, all of the plot details, all of the character bios. There's a guy named Derek. Granted, that could be just be the the kind of the cover name. But it sounds like he's Sam's love interest in the movie, and his name is Derek. Like, come on.
God! The more we talk about it, the more I'm like, oh.
It's the theater picks is what just the theater picks is what just threw this whole thing off the ledge of the mountain, because like if you're trying to really be different, you don't go to a theater. That's the one place you don't go in this movie.
Right.
All right.
You just agree more.
Go to an amusement park or something.
Anything. You run from a theater, because the whole again, it starts and ends in a theater. It's such a big part of 2.
Yeah.
And what's happening, gentlemen? We're in a dadgum theater again with stab movie posters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are we supposed to think? Even if you do a play, okay, whatever. That's still Scream 2.
Yeah.
It doesn't either way. No matter what you do now, you're still Scream 2.
Yeah.
What if they did something where so say it's like a group of friends, it's a couple group of friends for the opening scene, right? And they're at like this big mansion. New York, there's people that are rich in New York. There's people that have like things especially if they're out. So like, what if it's like this house and they have like a in-home movie theater, and like they're watching Stab and they're doing a Stab marathon. It's get close to Halloween time, that kind of thing. And then like Ghostface comes out, stabs one of the guys, and then everyone's like, freaking out. And then it's like, got you, big joke, like, we just wanted to scare you. It's Halloween time, blah, blah, blah. They go down, they're sitting in the movie. Ghostface comes in again, kills the other guy, takes the costume, comes in, kills that guy again. Everyone thinks like, oh, come on, man, you're not falling for it twice. And then boom, Ghostface runs away and it's real. Like, what if they did something like that? So where it's like a nod. Like I said, I probably come up with something better.
I was just gonna say, like, what if the whole movie is like setting up things like Scream 2, but then taking it in a different direction to kind of like fuck with its audience's like what we're expecting to happen, There's a part there's a way to do that right, and I would love it. But if it's still if it's just too close to Scream 2, it could end up being a parody of itself.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I would
just
much
do
rather it be
something
just
new.
straightforward. Yeah, I just want it to be straightforward, something that's fresh as much as
Yes.
possible. I mean, obviously, when you're in a franchise that's been this long standing, you're gonna have winks and nods and callbacks and stuff like that. But just do something fresh. That's all I want, man. That's the
Yeah,
bottom
like
line.
drive by a theater and it says now showing Stab 9. That's all we need. Like,
Yeah,
there's the
we don't
Easter
need
egg.
nothing else. Yep,
That's
Yeah.
it. There
That's
you
right.
go.
Cool.
that's
Sweet.
right.
You know, take us to a Subway instead of a theater. Let's do something we've
Exactly.
never seen before.
Exactly. You know?
Montreal has subways like New York.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I
right.
thought you meant Subway sandwiches for a minute. I was just like, bro, what?
That's
Guy
true.
is making a sub. How funny would
I
that
mean-
be if like a guy's making a sub, Ghostface comes and kills him, and then he just like eats the sub and just like walks out? That'd be
Puts the
that'd be
knife in the
gangster.
sub and carries
That'd
it
be
out.
Give me
gangster.
some
What's your
black
favorite
olives on my
sandwich?
Sandwich.
Oh,
Give me
Extra
the Italian
bloody.
urban Italian urban cheese bread, or I'll stab you in the throat.
right.
Dang,
Yeah.
All right,
man.
make it fast.
All right, guys. Well,
Anyway,
look,
yeah, we'll see what
we,
happens.
we're gonna get ready to end this thing up, but obviously, yeah, we're so hoping and praying that we get fresh things in Scream, and obviously with Halloween in general, we're just hoping that it just doesn't go off the rails. So, anyways,
Yes.
for you guys in the live chat, thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be back on Friday. Please give the video a like if you haven't already. That would help support the channel. We'd appreciate it as we try to march and claw and skip and hop our way to 1K. And also,
Sleepwalkers.
don't do it, man. And leave us a comment, and we will catch you guys next time. Take it easy. We love you guys. The collective has spoken. Peace out.
Bye, guys.